Hey guys, Kev here, and I made a boo-boo. I dropped this out of my truck. So I was doing a video. It was the unboxing of the Civivi knives, the FG Cruiser, and the Sentinel Strike. And then the Mayhem from Vosteed from JD for EDC, and I left this on my lap. And when I got out of my truck at Lowe's, it tumbled out, hit the concrete or the macadam, whatever you want to call it. And, yeah. I was keeping this pretty clean before that. The first one I had in machined titanium. By the way, this is the CWF Micro Click or Micro Arcadian Clicky from CWF, Charles Wiggins Flashlights. Great dude, great company. But it's a $450, $500 flashlight. And I had one of these before, and I scratched the ever-loving out of it because I had it in my pocket, and I would put my medication container in there and sometimes other things, and they would, all rub together. But I had been keeping this separate for the longest time. But we made a boo-boo. So let's take a look at it. Let's see how it's holding up after its drop from, what is it, like 4 or 5 feet up in a truck and then motion coming out. It kind of got thrown down to the ground. I just want to show you guys what a machined titanium flashlight like this can hold up to. And yeah, so I do have this cool Zircuti clip on it as well. I'm going to zoom in. Sometimes my voice gets a little weird when I zoom in because it does the voice zoom. I can't turn that off on an iPhone, so just bear with me. So here's the clip. The clip looks fine. I don't see any damage to the clip. But where we start to see damage is on the titanium here. And you can see it hit the concrete or the macadam, and then it rolled, right? So it hit and then it rolled over. So we have this chip right here. Look at that, nice gouge there. We have some scratches here, scratches there, big old scratch down the line there. And then up here on the clicky side of things, we have some nicks. So we've nicked this up, we've nicked this up here, and yeah. And then we'll work our way down here, the body. We're mostly just seeing scratches on the body here, right? And then as we get down to the bezel, is that what it's called? I don't know. Scratch, 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 scratch. Some of these might have been there already, but then this is where it really gets nasty up here. That must be where it really hit on the concrete. Is this exactly where the chip is? The chip is right here. So yeah, that's the side where it really bonked down on the concrete. And you can see it's nicely gouged and chipped. Let's take a look at the face on this one, or the bezel. Got a little bit there, nothing crazy. Don't think, oh, we might have scratched it a little bit on the actual, I don't know what that's made of. Is it glass? Is it plastic? I don't know. Never actually tried cleaning it or anything. Let me grab some alcohol. So just wipe it down, basically. I did clean this right before this video. So let me zoom out. So that's a look at the outside of it. Let's take it apart. Have not opened this since I dropped it yesterday. I don't expect there to be damage or anything. I'm just, I just thought I'd share. So here is the threads. I always put KPL dry lube on there, actually. So I'll clean it off, and then I'll put that on, and then I'll put the cap back on and try to keep it nice and clean. In here, we just have the battery spring. And then here's where we have all the magic happening. I don't know what any of that stuff is called or whatever, but this is, I guess, where all the magic happens. And obviously the battery hits right there. Here's our battery. It's a 10440, 320 mAh, 3.7 volt vape cell. These are what Charles recommends. He sends one of these with the flashlight. You can also get ones from a company called eFest. But just make sure you get the button tops and the 10440s. I think the flat ones work, but they'll like they'll get weird sometimes. It's not worth it. Get the right ones. And eFest is fine. The brand is good, I believe. But I would always get the vape cell. It's what I order. Don't cheap out. Don't go on Amazon and get those blue ones. They suck. And you'll end up buying more because you get them in like a 2 or 4 pack, and then half of them don't even work after the first charge. These have never failed me, and they last pretty long. I mean, I don't use my flashlight like crazy, but I use it a few times a day, and then, you know, maybe once or twice a week I need it for like 5 full minutes on, and I usually get, I get at least 2 weeks out of it. And then I usually just swap it out before it dies. It rarely happens where it's dying and I have to change it. You can tell when it's dying because it'll start, like the light will start flickering and I'll start thinking my light's fucked up, and then I swap the battery and it's fine. So here it is on the 15 setting, 15% setting. So whatever 15% of 650 lumens is, so it's something like 85 lumens. And then we can switch over to 100%. So this is 650 lumens. Now I have a window open next to me and studio lights on. So I'm not going to give you the best representation, but fantastic light. We're not getting any flickering or any issues of any kind after the fall, which is good. Clicky, still solid. So can the CWF Micro Arcadian take a fall? Yes, it can take a fall. This thing can take a beating. I've owned a bunch of these. Now, it's mostly because I've bought and sold them because of the finishes. Like I had a stonewash one I didn't really like, so I sold it. I had a full Mokutai one that was like $1,200. I sold that in like 2 days because I just realized I was going to do this to it and then feel like it, I'm going to have this beat up, beautiful light. Like it's just weird combination. And I've had another one in machine tie. I actually scratched the shit out of it. Like I told you, I sent it in to Charles and he warrantied it for me. He cleaned it all up for me or swapped it. I don't know what happened exactly, but I got it back and it was perfect. So, the warranty on these is fantastic. Charles is just, he's a great business owner. He's a great part of the EDC community, in my opinion. He makes really cool stuff. You can check out his new peanut design. It's a smaller, fatter style light that a lot of you guys like. Has a lot of power, a lot of really cool features. I would say it's kind of comparative to like that Reaver Citadel. I don't know about price-wise or anything, but just the size and the capabilities, I think, are similar. I know Charles is responsible for a lot of the drivers you see in flashlights. I believe he invented the Dragon driver or whatever it's called. But that's why you won't see any clickies this size. A AAA size clicky is notoriously hard to... just found a little... I didn't realize I hit it. I did hit it up here. Did you see that little piece fall off? I wonder if I could just take my file. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I think he's responsible for a lot of the drivers you see in flashlights. But anyway, you don't see clickies in this size very often. Because the clicky mechanism is notoriously like terrible in this size. He actually created this for this size flashlight. Now, La Lima Metalcraft has a flashlight called the Hoku, which is about the same size, and it's a 10440. And I had one, but it was a twisty, and I just hate twisties, but I love the light. So they actually are just now coming out with a clicky version, and I'm trying to get one so I can compare them, and just so I could have one, you know. I love this light. It's my favorite light ever. I have two. I actually have this one and a titanium one that's DLC coated, and then Zur blasted, and I love that light too. I dropped that one as well onto a knife and kind of put a little scratch into the DLC. So I'm going to mess up lights. It's just how it goes. I'm going to mess up stuff. I use my stuff. I carry my stuff. Just going to try, because I've always had these sharp angles on here. I actually had my kid tell me I've scratched her before with it. Yeah, what do you know? A little more on this. I know it's like flamed, so I don't want to just destroy the finish. Yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So one good thing came out of this. It gave me the courage to put my file onto it. I just used the file on my Leatherman Charge Plus. This is a diamond file, so it's diamond coated. I usually just use the smooth side. It's not very rough, but it gets the job done. I believe the whole thing is diamond coated, so you can use the bottom and the top. I don't think the top has any kind of finish on it, though. This is such a great tool. I love my Leatherman Charge Plus. Sorry. Anyway, let me just see if it... it didn't mess it up or anything. Just knocked the edges down there. It already had that look to it from the drop, so I really just softened it up. But it would really scratch if you ran it on your, if you got hit with it out of pocket or somebody. It's still kind of sharp, but I think that's just the nature of it. But it's better. Anyway, I love this light, and I just wanted to show you guys that I dropped it. And, if anything, it really just makes it more carryable for me, not to worry about it as much. I was always making sure it was in a separate pocket and it wasn't getting hit with anything. Now I can just carry it, not worry about it too much. I usually swap the clip back and forth from the DLC one to this one, because this clip is like $200. I really didn't want to have to buy another one. So whichever light I'm carrying, I just swap the clip. The threading and everything on these screws is really well done for titanium. I mean, I can really tighten it down to tight, and not feel like I'm going to strip it. It's really well done machining across the board on this thing. Charles is just a genius, and so any chance I can to make a video and talk about his work, I will do it. So shout out to him. Go check him out. CWF Lights on Instagram and his website. I'll link those down below. But can the micro-click survive my nonsense? And the answer so far is yes. I've had one of these in pocket for years now. Literally on the daily for years. This flashlight, or a version of it, has been in my pocket and serving me extremely well. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.